Hello, I am Cannon, and you are probably new here. So, judging by my voice, you are probably going to be correct in your assumption that not all of these are going to be perfect, especially the female ones. But, listen, okay? I just need you to do a couple things for me. Just a couple, okay? Uh, like the video, comment what was your favorite voice, and possibly subscribe. It's free, and you can always do it later if you hate me, alright? I appreciate you guys. Peace out.
Yahaha! Never underestimate the cunning of a pirate, or a fox for that matter. Arr, I came for ye booty. That be treasure, you know. Arr, you never stood a chance. I can't run like I used to, but I can pull myself apart just fine. Arr, so much more spacious in here. I may stay a while.
Don't be afraid. Soon you will look just like me. Beautiful. Now I get to play take apart and put back together. You won't feel a thing. I wanted to wait until just the right moment to drop in. It's so much more fun hanging out in here with you. He's here and always watching. The one you shouldn't have killed.
Mr. Hugs got me again. It's not my fault. I got these fat plastic fingers and can't press the buttons. If I get jump scared, you get jump scared. That game was totally rigged. That's what you get for leaving me hanging.
You won't get tired of dying, will you? Where's my beak? Launched in your forehead, of course. You won't get tired of my voice, will you? Let's go somewhere more private, so I can eat you.
I never thought I'd make it through that vent, but now we are together. Let me show you how to break your face and look like me. I was the first. I have seen everything. Come closer. Let us smile together. I have seen him, the one you shouldn't have killed. Time to face the consequences of your failure. Might as well face the facts. You were always destined to fail. You blinked. What is this new prison? Is it me trapped, or is it you? Perhaps it's us both. I may be missing my face, but even I could see this coming.
Seeing you powerless is like music to me. I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way. The others are like animals, but I am very aware. The others are under my protection. I recognize you, but I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
I am remade, but not by you. By the one you should not have killed. No light can save you now. What a gift to relish, a victim that can't perish. I am given flesh to be your tormentor. Come closer. Help me count my teeth. You're not so big. Just a bite-sized morsel. There just isn't room in here for both of us. You knew I'd get you eventually. Flash that light all you want. It can't save you now. Let me put you back together, then take you apart all over again. Let's see how many times you can be pulled apart. I assure you, I am very real. This time, there's more than an illusion to fear. We know who our friends are, and you are not one of them. You will not be spared. You will not be saved. The shadow fears me. I'm your witness, made of flesh. I'm here to claim what is left of you. I will vomit you back to leave your horror. This is a nightmare that you won't wake from. This time, death cannot save you. The nightmare is just beginning. Let's taste death again and again and again. I am the fearful reflection of what you have created. Did things get really hot in here, or is it just me? Come and burn with me. The fire within me burns eternal, and now you shall as well. I am a burning reminder of your misdeeds. Greetings from the fire, and from the one you should not have killed.
It seems you couldn't make it to my show, so I brought the show to you. Showtimes are on the hour, not a moment before and not a moment later. It's time to take your final bow. I'm sorry, but there was never enough room on this stage for both of us. A performance was demanded of me, and now I have delivered encore.
I could hear you, breathing. Admit it, you wanted to let me in. Why do you hide inside these walls? Don't be shy. These are strange circumstances that have brought us together.
Looks like something bad happened. I guess you forgot about me. Want to see the scooping room? Time for your controlled shot. Let's see how many pieces I can cut you into. You won't die, but you'll wish you could.
I bet you weren't expecting me, were ya? Turn your back for 1 second and I'm like, what's you? Ninja skills. You and I don't get to talk as often as I'd like. Everyone underestimates me, but then they turn their back and I'm like, boo! And they're like, ugh. Move over, Freddy Fazbear. Happy Frog's the new star of the show. We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
I consider it a dignified death. Not really, it was actually quite pathetic. If you sit by the river long enough, you can see the body of your enemy float by. Even monkeys fall from trees. The talented hawk hides his claws. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down.
Don't you hate getting killed by obscure secondary characters? Stranger danger. I was just waiting for you to drop your guard. Whoops, that's gonna leave a mark. This is how it feels, and you get to experience it over and over and over again, forever. I will never let you leave. What did you think of my act? I don't get out much, so you'll have to forgive my enthusiasm. I hope you enjoyed the grand finale. Now is my time to shine. He tried to release you. He tried to release us. But I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here. No matter how many times they burn us.
Please deposit 5 coins. Please deposit 5 coins. Please deposit, please deposit, please deposit, please deposit 5 coins. You are attempting to trick Freddy. You are attempting to... Freddy doesn't like this. Thank you for depositing 5 coins.
Why so blue? You know I'll be true. So now I'll make slivers out of you. So good to see you again, my truest friend. But now your life must end. What a fine day to come here and say that your face and flesh I must flay. What a treat to come here and meet your face as it hits concrete. I found my guitar, now reach for the stars as I plunge it through your heart.
That's right. And don't you come back now, you hear? Whoops. Looks like you're the one who slipped up this time. That'll teach you for trying to trick this old bird. Thought you could fool me with that sign, but I was too smart for you. Normally I can't stand wet floors, but the smell of fresh meat is just too enticing.
Yarr, what can I do for ya? Yarr, how may I be of service to ya? Yarr, who touched me bird? Yarr, me bird likes you, so I'll do ye a favor. Yarr, you win some, you lose some. Yarr, you play with fire, and sometimes you get burned.
You and I will be making music together for a long, long time. You hear that? It's the sweet, sweet sound of your eternal silence. Hey, keep it down, would ya? When I'm here, you play by my rules. A song was requested of me, and now I sing it.
It'll all be over soon. There's room for one more. Come spend eternity inside with me. I've been looking for you, and now I will never let you go. I'm so glad that I found you. Let me make room for you.
I always come back.
bittersweet, but fitting. That was easier than I thought it would be.
It seems you have met a horrible demise, my friend. But, these things happen in life. Life goes on. Not for you, obviously. You're dead. But, it reminds me of a time. I was having a conversation with my friend Orville. We were the river. We were sitting by the river, watching the fish leap over the falls. And I said to Orville, sometimes I feel like a fish, leaping over and over again, always trying to get somewhere, but what'd I say? No, always trying to get somewhere, I don't know where, or to find myself in the jaws of a beast. He, of course, looked at me surprised, Have you been in the jaws of a beast, friend? To which I said, no, of course not, Orville. I said, no. I simply meant that life can seem like a relentless endeavor, overcome meaningless obstacles, only to meet an equally meaningless fate, regardless of your efforts, regardless of the obstacles you've passed. And, Orville, he stood up and proceeded to drape me with a picnic cloth. To which I asked him, I said, friend, what are you doing? He looked at me, very concerned, really. I feel like you've gotten too much sun. Indeed. Indeed I had. He proceeded to pour me a glass of just ice-cold lemonade. Ooh, you ever mixed it with iced tea? Like a half lemonade, half iced. Ooh, it's so good. You should try it. Oh wait, you can't because you're dead. But anyways, you may be asking yourself, how did I go from sitting by the falls drinking lemonade to be wedged in an air duct? Not only with Orville, but with an entire assortment of fruity-colored friends. Well, there's really no good answer to that. But perhaps I met a demise of my own at some point, and this is my afterlife, or my dream. Whatever it might be. I honestly don't know. Or maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. It seems your journey has ended. Very sorry about that. It was always going to end this way, of course. If it weren't by me, it would have been by some other, just terrible thing. You can imagine how terrible it would be. I get scared just thinking about it. Glad it's not me. Reminds me of a time I was speaking with my good friend Orville. We were sitting on a park bench watching the pigeons. I was on the left, he was on the... No, wait, was I on the... It doesn't matter. I was on the left, he was on the right. We were sitting on there, watching the pigeons, and I said to Orville, friend, those birds are frozen. He kind of looked at me as if I lost my mind, but I reminded him that it was winter, and often birds will sit in a tree until they freeze. Then they fall into the ground until the sun warms up. And they can, the sun warms up. Oh, yeah. The sun warms up, and then they can move again. So I said to Orville, you might as well save those breadcrumbs until the birds thaw, because they can't very well enjoy them in the condition they're in. To which he asked what I meant, and asking what condition the crumbs should be in before he threw them to the birds, assuming I had meant the birds couldn't enjoy the breadcrumbs in the condition that the crumbs were in, when in fact I had meant the birds couldn't enjoy them in the condition that the birds were in, considering the birds were frozen, So he took a moment, and then he threw his last handful into the ground. I said to him, Orville, why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when I just told you they're frozen? To which he responded, the breadcrumbs are not frozen. Again, I'm misunderstanding my words. I didn't mean to say that the breadcrumbs were frozen when I told you they're frozen. I was referring to the birds.
In hindsight, what I should have said was, and this would make perfect sense, why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when the birds are frozen? He misunderstood upon my correction, stating that he didn't know what else to do with the breadcrumbs, and that perhaps, when the birds thawed, they'd still be able to eat the crumbs. So I said to Orville, this is what I said, Orville, the birds may be dead. My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me, it would have been from someone else, I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, life goes on for everyone else, not for you. You're dead. That's neither here nor there. It reminds me one summer day in the park. I was having a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. I said, Orville, I have a story. And he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, Sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read into every little thing and try to find meaning into everything that anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once, wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you don't want to believe, or thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume, Sometimes a story is just a story, so just be quiet for 1 second in life and eat your sandwich, okay? Of course, it was only then I realized I've made sandwiches, and poor Orville was having difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands, Well, actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands. They're all feet. I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat my sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby. I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday. Or rather, they sold it at a discount for people who wanted to feed the ducks. And probably at the end of the day, finally they threw it all out. I don't recall. I do remember a man who would always bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday to go feed the ducks. He would buy all the sourdough bread. Of course, you're not supposed to feed the ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach and they all die. Well, at least that's what I've heard. I never saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the duck population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, I told Orville this as well. If you want to feed ducks or birds or any of that kind of matter, it's best to buy seed. I mean, when you think about it, breads of any sort don't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from the bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Wait, hold on. Oh, thank you. So, yes. So I brought Orville some rye bread. What a fine day it was. It seems you have met your end. What a pity. I don't feel too bad about it, though. After all, if it weren't me, it would have been one of the others, I guess. I'm honestly just glad to be out of those air ducts. It's not easy for a hippopotamus to fit up there, and not easy to get down either. Not as young as I used to be, as you can see. I used to get to do all sorts of things. You're young, you're vibrant, you have that sort of pep in your step. It reminds me of a time I was having a conversation with one of my good friends, Orville. We were having a nice picnic one day. I believe it was summer, or was it The fall. Yes. It was the fall because the leaves had turned already. But I said to Orville, Orville, I have a story to tell you. And Orville looked at me, kind of odd, and said, what is it about? I said to him, not every story has to be about something, Orville. Sometimes a person just wants to talk. Why does everything have to be a story? I said to him. He just looked at me and he said, well, you said you had a story. And, he was right. I did, in fact, have a story. I told him, I suppose if a person just wants to talk, then it's best not to announce that you're telling a story. Did I tell him that? I don't think I told him that. Oh, whatever. Telling a story does come with its own pressures and expectations, I suppose. After all, if you're just talking to a friend, then there's no expectations than if you're just talking into the wind. Words by themselves aren't expected to carry, and they aren't expected to stick. But if you announce that you're telling a story, well then there better be a point to it at all, No one wants to sit and listen to someone ramble on and on and on and on and on and on and on with absolutely no end in sight. So, it's good to be mindful when you tell someone you're about to tell a story that you have something to say. Telling someone that you're gonna tell them a story is tantamount to ask them to stop what they're doing and pay attention. You're basically saying, hey buddy, stop everything. Stop what you're thinking. I have a solution to everything. And, well, I didn't have any story to tell. In hindsight, I probably just misspoke when I said I had a story. I think it would have been better to tell Orville that I wanted to tell him something rather than tell him I had a story. But, even then, that might have put too much importance on the whole thing. Either way, it was quite a nice day. I remember we were drinking